burps out of the way. Hey everybody.
Eh.
This is the morning after edition of Rebootleggers. Had a kind of a rough night. Could listeners, could you please just turn off those lights, please? They're incredibly bright. Just please turn those off. Thank you. You know, okay. I feel like you're ignoring us. Frank and I are sitting here in our bathrobes.
We're not well.
Huh?
I'm not well.
Horizontal on the couches. I'm trying to remember what even happened. Yeah. So we got a good reboot this week. Welcome back to Rebootleggers. I'm your host Scotto, and this is my co homeboy Frank Serra.
Homeboy executive producer Frank Serra.
Mm-hmm. The HB exec. Frank, have you ever seen
The Neverending Story?
I think if I had, I'd still be watching it by definition.
Anyway, no, I've suddenly just taken a drink. I got a shot of B12, and I feel incredible now. Frank,
Gotta get me some of that.
I feel good. With this miracle drug, how does everyone not know about this? This is incredible.
You gotta get the word out about B12.
Everybody gotta hit
Everybody
it.
should get a shot of B12.
Mm-hmm. So the Neverending Story. I'm talking the film. It's a film based on a movie. Nope. It's a film based on a book.
Based on
I forgot how words work.
an old man's dream.
Probably. It is
a very old man's dream.
It's like a labyrinthian type movie. There's a lot of puppets.
Mm-hmm.
And
real magic. A lot of people don't know that.
Here's what we're looking at. You've got it's a movie about a boy who's reading a book, and the book he's reading is the story. It's kind of like a Princess Bride situation.
Mm-hmm.
Only like
or Inception.
Yeah.
Which one's the dream?
The film begins with the young boy Bastian Balthazar Bucks is his name.
Trip B.
B cubed.
B cubed. Thank you. As the true fans say. He
gets bullied at school by bullies because he likes to read books. And his dad, he lives at home with, I think he only has a dad. He might also have a mom, but I only remember the dad. And the dad is a bit of a tool. And one of the I think arguably the best scene in the movie is when his dad tells him, he says, "I heard you were drawing horses in math class again." And Balthazar,
that's a big problem for him, huh?
And Balthazar replies, "They're unicorns, Dad."
Oh, that doesn't help. I bet he got beat. I bet he got beat that night.
This is the 80s, so you
gotta smack that out of your child.
His dad gave him the worst, his dad just has the most just disappointed, I have no son sigh.
Made him wear a dress.
Yeah. No, that didn't happen. But then this young boy, I forget, he's being chased by bullies before school, and he runs into.
Those are some early bird gets the worm bullies.
Yeah, they chase him and at the beginning of the movie, I believe they throw him in a dumpster.
Oh, that's not very fun. That's a smelly place to be.
That's a smelly place. That's right. And he ends up in a library where he finds a book, or he steals a book from a library.
If he's got a library card, there's really no reason to steal.
Maybe it's a bookstore. I honestly forget how he gets this book. All I know is that he's in an attic somewhere and he starts reading it. And the book tells the story of a young boy named Atreyu, who has to starp. He
has to starp. He has to start stopping.
He has to start stopping a dark storm called the Nothing, and the Nothing is basically
the darkness.
The darkness. It is like destroying this land of Fantasia.
It makes everybody.
It unmakes everybody.
Oh. Okay.
It starts with a giant rock man who rides a tricycle.
You Heisman me.
Mm-hmm. It unmakes the world, and so Atreyu is sent upon a series of quests to stop the Nothing. He must go through the there's this one like statue he has to go past, and if he even feels the tiniest bit of fear, he'll get incinerated, and it's like kind of scary.
But how would you not be afraid of the statue at that point?
You gotta like, it's hard to do.
You can't even let the statue get a fear you?
Mm-hmm. What?
So wait, the boy, are we now in this magical realm now?
We're in Fantasia now. And so there's a princess who doesn't have...
That's gotta be copyrighted. Is that not copyrighted?
The fact that, the name Fantasia?
Yeah.
Apparently not. So yeah, the Nothing is killing the Empress.
Mm-hmm.
Or she's sick, and Atreyu has to find a cure because they think that if she stops being sick, the Nothing won't be a threat.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so the Nothing summons. There's this wolf monster, whose job is to kill Atreyu, and it's kind of like pursuing him for most of the movie. But you don't really see
there's
him
a
till the end.
little tension, a timer, a clock on the event.
Mm-hmm. He goes to, so Atreyu goes through the swamps of there is a part where and this is weird because the way that it's written, it's almost like,
and so a little boy gets bullied, and then just the entire movie happens without him, and it's just like sad that boy got bullied.
Well, no, so occasionally that's what I was just about to bring up. It'll like cut back and forth to like him reading it, or him like reading aloud as we see the things happening. But there's a part like where Atreyu and his horse Artax is a dope horse, buddy, and they like are in this swamp, and this giant turtle shows up and it startles them, but it also startles Bastion somehow, even though Bastion is just reading, and Bastion like screams because it startles him, even though that's like not how books work.
That's not how books
like
go.
Books can't really jump scare you.
Yeah, you always have to read the next thing.
But then here's the thing. This is where it gets intriguing, Frank. Bastion screams, and Atreyu looks around startled because he like heard the scream.
Oh,
yeah. And so they go through this swamp of like, I forget what it's called. It's like the swamp of sadness. It might just be the swamp of sadness. And when you're in the swamp, you get very sad. And Atreyu's horse gets very sad and just lets himself sink and die. And it's so sad. And then Atreyu also like faints, and then he wakes up surrounded by a big old fuzzy thing, like shiny fuzz, and it turns out he's been saved by a luck dragon named Falcor that looks like a big old dog fuzzy worm thing. And so they like continue on. He ends up fighting the wolf thing, and he kills it. And I believe the wolf, it turns out Fantasia is like representative of humankind's in like collective imagination. And the Nothing is it represents adults' cynicism. And so
it's pretty literal then.
Yeah, and so adults are like killing imagination.
So only children publish fantasy novels.
Yeah, so then he kills the wolf, and then the Nothing starts like taking everything, and there's like nothing left except like this one tower. And so Atreyu and Falcor go there, and they find that the princess is in there, and he's like, I'm really sorry, I failed. And she's like, no, you did great. You brought me a human child. He's been following your quest. And then the Nothing starts consuming the tower, and then the Empress starts shouting. She says, like, the boy can save us, and Bastion's like, what? They can't be talking about me. And then she says,
he's not there, he's just reading a book.
But then she says, Bastion, say my name.
Because
I guess she gets a new name. Like he has to give her a name or something to like make it real. I don't know. It's so confusing. And then he like shouts her name into the windy storm that is raging outside his attic. And when he wakes up, she's standing next to him, and she's holding a single grain of sand from Fantasia, and within that sand has the power to bring anything to life with his imagination. And so Bastion like recreates everything, and he's flying around on Falcor's back. This is the real boy, not Atreyu. He's riding around on
This is the
Falcor.
real Bastion boy.
Yep, and he's flying around, and he sees that like
That's
Atreyu
fine.
and Artax are back. And then Falcor's like, you can wish for anything. So then Bastion wishes Falcor into the real world, and then they chase his bullies.
Oh, that's frightening.
It's a bit of a revenge story.
Yeah, this is grim.
And he like the bullies end up jumping into a dumpster to hide from the dragon. And
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
fitting.
It's like, oh, sweet justice.
It comes full circle.
Yeah.
So do they not explore that like all of this boy's friends are dead, are the real ones are dead, and these are like replications from his mind?
No, what? Atreyu's friends?
Oh, Bastion.
His friends aren't dead.
Well, they died, right?
His
So like
book
everything got
friends.
them. Yeah, everything got them.
Yeah, but he just brings them back because they were all, they're just part of imagination to begin with. And then it turns out all
but
imagination died, apparently.
But I thought imagination was real.
Yeah, and so just imagining them back isn't like clones, it's just imagining them back.
Boy, that's trippy.
Yeah, and then
Do they expect kids to watch this movie?
oh yeah, it's a wonderful kids movie. I actually really want to watch it right now because it's like so Terabad, but like beautifully Terabad. Like
But I do want to double check. You know that Terabad
is only bad.
It's two bad words.
Yeah, I was trying to think Incredibad, I guess. That's the Lonely Island album.
That's copyrighted, yeah.
It's a really great bad movie.
Okay.
And it's very like
I mean, I'll take your word for it. This sounds like it gets pretty philosophically muddy.
yeah, and it's not that long. Like I guess it's an hour and a half. But so it is a West German film, so you know how that goes.
With the wall and everything.
Mm-hmm. This was made on one side of the wall. So like, what are we? What? Give me your gut reactions, Frank. What do you see for this reboot? I want to know what your what are you feeling?
All right, so we're keeping fuzzy dragons, obviously.
Gotta keep the Falcor.
Obviously, none of this can happen in the real world because it's not real.
But is it?
Is it? I know. Here's something that I do like.
Mm-hmm.
It's so hot right now
Yes.
to just
outside.
bash on millennials, right?
Oh yeah, fuck 'em.
And I'm glad that this is a movie about how adults are wrong.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes. And I mean, this boy Bastion, is he a millennial?
I mean, in the original, no, but
I think he might be. He's
we're
like
bringing this to 2016.
No, he's not. He's what, Gen Y?
Yeah, he would be Gen Y if it was the original 1984.
Because he's only
picture.
like 10 in 84. I don't know. He might be on the cusp. Millennials is a surprisingly large gap. All right. So I mean, it is. I feel like.
So the ultimate, I guess we need to smooth this out.
Mm-hmm.
The ultimate message that we need to, the heart that we need to keep, is that the young are better
at imagination or just everything.
At being alive.
Okay, that is true.
And that the old all they want to do is tear down the young.
Yeah, man. Okay. And I'm thinking.
So I think as long as that's the heart, I think we're okay.
What if? Let me run this past you. We flip it. It takes place in a fantasy world where a boy is reading a book about a normal, mundane, regular world because that is fantastic to them.
Ooh, okay. And it's like a grown man who just finished learning how to read,
Mm-hmm.
and he's reading a fantastical story of something called like an accountant. And this person goes into a magical sky castle, or as
Mm-hmm.
we call it, an apartment building,
Mm-hmm.
one office building. It's probably an office building. I don't know why he would work from home.
Maybe is it modern
And
day?
he
If he's a millennial, he might be working from home.
that's true. Maybe the fantasy world is reading a book about 1980s businessmen. Go, Reaganauts.
Reaganauts. Okay. What's the conflict here?
Yeah, so I guess in the fantasy world, all the young people win.
Is the conflict that like so there's a nothing in the real world and the nothing is like imagination. Everyone's being too like
It's making all the adults very silly, and they can't feed their families
yeah.
or like work productive lives.
Nobody's being responsible or like taking a job.
Everyone's just shooting dope.
So this actually sounds like it's becoming pretty anti-millennial
I f-
because it's all about getting
it's
a
hot.
job.
It's hot.
It's hot. Get
Gotta
a job.
smash those millennials.
You kids and your participation trophies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
This is what we got to do.
okay.
Obviously, this can't air on the NBC CW. It's pretty off message.
The NBCW, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll start a
Maybe
subsidiary.
this is just a we can call it's a shell corporation. We can call it.
I mean, well, if it's a movie, let's make it a movie. Then it doesn't have. Then it would air in.
Yeah,
theaters.
then it wouldn't ever. It would probably end up airing on TBS.
Yeah, take that
after
TBS.
its theater run.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
we'd be very happy for the sale. TBS is Turner Broadcasting is pretty wealthy.
So we have grown man Sebastian. Also,
Well,
this
maybe-
father in the original story, so upset that his son is a dweeby boy getting picked on. Like, guy, you named him Sebastian Balthazar.
Well,
you basically
named him Bastion.
No, he named him. I thought it was Sebastian. And they just called him Bastion. It is Bastion. All right, you named your son Bastion Balthazar, and you're upset at him that he gets bullied. Like, this is on you, guy. You pretty much were asking for this when you named your kid.
That's a good point. We need a naysayer that that turns out to be wrong the whole time. So I think in the 1980s non-fantasy world, I feel like the man has a son, right? And the son always wants to do very silly things, but the man needs to be an adult.
Yeah, like the kids somehow have like a lot of power. Like a lot of pull in society. So like instead of kids' imaginations being squelched and stomped on by cynical and apathetic adults, it's the adults like pragmaticism and responsibility is getting trampled by child imagination and carefreeness.
It's all those schools where you like grade yourself based on your feelings.
Yeah, like the dad comes home from a really hard day at work and is just like mercilessly taunted by his kids about like, what are you doing? Working a job, getting money.
That's not a purple elephant.
What are you? That's not.
You're not a dinosaur.
What are you? Some kind of what do you? God, you just. I heard you were crunching numbers again today.
Yeah, you don't smell like birthday cake.
Yeah,
Who do you think? Where do you think food comes from? It's the food tree in the backyard, and they're obviously not real.
Right. The food tree. The boys are very real.
The boy is real.
The children are real, and
The boy taunts the man in
and he throws him into a dumpster.
Yeah. How? Maybe
through the power of
bullies
imagination
the man
into getting into the dumpster.
into getting into the dumpster. Like, you get into the dumpster because you're trash, and you need to. He's just a boy, so he's not that imaginative. So it's just like, you are garbage man.
You're a toilet person,
and not the kind of garbage man that you just thought of. Get in the trash because you're a man made of garbage.
You're a garbage man, but not like the one who collects garbage as a job. You're like not a garbage person.
Just bad.
Just a bad individual. That's good. That's good.
So then he gets in the dumpster and he like cries a little. He probably cries a little bit because he's still grown up. Grown-ups don't cry.
No, grown-ups don't cry. Big boys don't cry, according to a Thurgy, or that's big girls.
I feel like it's applicable cross-gender.
I don't know.
It's 2016.
Fergie doesn't say anything about big boys. She's only talking about big girls. Big girls don't cry. Maybe big boys do cry.
Maybe they do. Maybe this movie shows people that big boys do cry.
Tom Hanks says there's no crying in baseball, but I see them all cry at the end of that movie.
Yeah, that's pretty hypocritical.
All
right, so the real. Hold on. Which one's real and which one's fake? Which one's the fake man? The fake man is the one that it's the businessman, right?
Businessman and businessman's son both take place in a fantasy story, but it's a fantasy within a fantasy. Yeah, it's fantasy's fantasy.
Yeah. So the real man is reading about the fake man and the fake boy.
We gotta give him some names, because this is getting ridiculous. Talk about real boy, fake boy.
All right. So hold on. Well, there's the real man and the fake man, and there's a fake boy, but there's not a real boy.
No, the real
Because the real man is reading the book about the fake man and the fake boy.
Oh, it's a grown man in the fantasy world?
Well, in the real world that to us we would call fantasy.
Yeah. Oh my god, we gotta get some labels on this.
Well, I feel like real man is okay. His name could just be like Re A. Ullman.
What if his name was just like Jeffrey Reelman?
Yeah, that's on message. So Jeffrey is reading a book about a fake man and a fake boy, and the fake boy,
and Jeffrey, Jeffrey lives in a world that is like, it's fantasy. There's like dragons and shit in Jeffrey's world.
Yeah, well, it's the real world. In the movie, it's the real world.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, just confirming, it is a fantastic land.
Yeah, like his next door neighbor is probably
Grimace.
Oh, that raises some questions.
From McDonald's.
So, in the source material, the only thing in the real world in the source movie was the boy reading the book.
Well, and also the book in the library, and yeah.
Yeah, but so all the cast of characters like Atreyu and the wolf,
Falcor,
they have to be real world, our real world, the movie fake world entities, which means humans or like dogs.
I mean, Grimace exists in our real world. There's a physical Grimace costume somewhere.
No, I get it, but it has to be all in the fake world, right? So the man's next door neighbor, the real man, Jeffrey, his next door neighbor can be a dragon, but it can't be Falcor, because Falcor's in the story.
Right.
So the fake man and the fake boy, who is Falcor?
Jeez.
Is it their next door neighbor, Greg?
Yeah, it's just like...
And he wants to take the fake boy on a reality trip? No, the fake man. Because the boy is the dad. So the boy is the dad, so the boy isn't part of it. The fake man is the Bastion.
fake
Maybe
man.
his name is Basti.
So fake
Maybe
man.
his name is Seb.
Seb. Okay, so Seb. Seb is the one whose son relentlessly bullies him for not having candy corn hair.
The hero of the tale.
His clothes are not made of cotton candy, and that is subject to ridicule.
Yeah. So, okay. The Empress needs an amulet, so the VP of finance at his company needs a report.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very serious report because it's about whether or not they can stay in business and how many people they have to fire.
Mm-hmm. TPS?
Like, there's no time for games.
Can it be a TPS report?
I don't see why not.
Third quarter earnings report.
That's really good. I like that business talk.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I got business words. Okay, so Seb has to get the third quarter earnings report to financial, and this is the 80s, so there's no email. So he's got to hand deliver it.
Or fax it, but
No fax.
all the children have made the fax machine into ice cream machines. They don't work.
And so instead of
I think we're good so far.
Okay. Now wait, we're getting
Falcor is from a different department in the company?
Wait, no, so shouldn't Jeff Reelman be the one getting bullied? That's why he's reading this story.
Yeah, that's how that works, isn't it?
Yeah. So Jeff Reelman's getting bullied
by his real life children.
By his real life children for being too fantasy in this fantasy land. Or not fantasy enough?
Being not fantasy enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he likes to
do accounting.
Savings accounts.
Yeah,
he likes to ensure that he'll have enough money to retire.
Right, he's saving up those those glib-glob gems from all of his
Jeff's children are
dragon
the ones.
Actuarials.
Yeah. And so he reads about Seb, the normal man, well, the fantasy man.
The fantasy businessman.
The fantasy businessman who has no children.
And he's on a quest he is summoned to deliver the third quarter earnings reports
to the VP, but she's not a very nice person.
The VP at corporate.
Their nickname is the Vice Princess, right? Of finance.
Well, but the princess is a nice person. We're trying to save the princess.
Yeah, she's a very nice person, and that's why they call her the Vice Princess.
Okay, and so instead of meeting a dragon named Falco, so instead of a horse, he'll just have like his trusty
Toyota Tercel.
Yep. That's the one. And it's got a name. What's the name of his car?
Tony the Tercel.
Tony the Tercel. Okay. So
Tony the Tercel. Because he's not a very fantastical man.
That's true.
That's the point.
Okay.
He would not be very imaginative.
And so he has to face several trials of hero's trials. Give me what are some trials?
Okay.
And he has been so a rival company
wants to buy out
a rival company. So the evil force in the fantasy world is representative of the children's over fantastic imaginations. So
their very serious investment firm is going to get bought out by like a toy company,
by like a candy store.
Yeah. And they're going to turn all the profits into large chocolate bars,
into like jam,
fun pops,
dollar bills made of jelly,
like tubes of Smarties that aren't wrapped tight enough.
Oh, the worst. Okay, yeah. So they have sent an operative to stop him.
Yes.
And his name is Ronald.
Ronald. His name's Ronald.
Ronald Davidson. And he wears like a rainbow tie.
Very silly. Yes,
he wears a rainbow tie. His hair is like
old.
Oh no. Yeah,
His hair is like cotton candy.
but many colors.
Yeah, rainbow?
Is he a clown?
It's
Are we
yeah,
making a
I think he's
clown?
just a clown. I was trying to not get there, but
Everything we
every
said,
path twisted and turned,
all
and
paths,
he's a clown.
all paths lead to clowns. Okay, so he's
So
a
we have a
clown
clown named Ronald.
named
Let's
Ron.
be
Uh
clear.
oh. Okay, his name cannot be Ronald.
His name is he's a clown. His name's got to be like
No.
like Spoory.
His name is
Or
Glib.
oh,
His name is
we did Glob's the money.
Chauncey.
We already did that. Chauncey the clown.
Chauncey the clown. And Chauncey is very happy. I feel like we don't even make him creepy. Like, he's not a creepy clown.
No,
He's
clowns
just,
are
like,
already bad enough. Yeah.
right. He's a very
Clowns don't need help.
he's-
Being clowns.
he's a very amicable fellow.
Because the children love him, and he loves the children.
Mm-hmm. We all
And
love
he
the
does
children.
not like the adults. He is
Mm.
one. So there's some deep seated issue there, but the movie's not going to explore that.
He is neither child nor adult. He is a let's what if he should
Is he a teenager?
oh, he should just be like a fantasy creature. Maybe.
I don't
Nah. I like
no,
that he's
I
an
don't
actual
follow.
he exists in that world. Whatever. So this incoming storm of Candy Company, Candy Toy Incorporated,
Buyout.
yeah, has sent him. So what are the hero's trials that Jeff Reelman has to go through? Wait, no, not Jeff Reelman. Seb.
Seb, no last name, because he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Atreyu doesn't have a last name.
No. Seb's taking Toyota. Tony Toyota.
Tony the Tercel.
Tony the Tercel. And he'll, instead of getting his horse lost in a depressing
Big
swamp,
giant parking garage.
no, he gets his his Tercel lost in just the worst traffic jam in LA.
Oh, and he's in such a rush that he needs to get out of the vehicle.
Yeah, corporate is in a different city and he has to drive from his city to that city.
And he's just deadlocked in the 405.
He is deadlocked and his car will not get out of that parking jam.
And he's like, gosh darn it. Well, my duty is to my company. I'll have to get out and walk, because he's very responsible.
Yes, and then he collapses from exhaustion. Instead of waking up with a dragon, he wakes up with
An EMT?
Oh! That's pretty good.
Yeah, and his name is
Gregory
his name is
Frank.
well, I'm honored. I was trying to think F names.
His name is
Not that kind.
Francis.
That's not better.
His name is Professor Charles Xavier.
I think we can roll with that. So Charlie the EMT gives him the paddles, gives him the jaws of life.
He's like, "Hey, wake up!" He gives him the jaws of life. So Charlie kills Tony.
Well,
I thought he got out of Tony.
Oh, I guess he did get out of Tony. Maybe he needs to use the jaws of life on what did we name our guy?
Chauncey the clown.
No, the
Seb.
Seb. Maybe.
He has to pry Seb open.
Wait. The jaws of
The jaws of life are they're basically the opposite of a hydraulic press. So you wedge them into a car door and then they just slowly and forcefully pry it open to get people out.
Okay, so it's not another word for CPR.
No, the jaws of life is a thing that is equipped on most fire trucks to break open cars to free people from
All right,
them.
lesson learned. Charlie
The
the
jaws
EMT
of life.
uses
The
CPR.
jaws of life is what you thought it was when you put your mouth on another person's mouth
Well,
for CPR.
I thought it was a cool way to say CPR.
That's amazing.
Okay, so Charlie the EMT has to do the 1 2 staying alive, one of those. Has to do CPR.
Mm-hmm. You actually don't even have to do. They say don't even do the breathing now. Now it's all just chest compressions.
Just 100%.
Yeah, that's what they've said.
So then he uses the paddles on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what is our guy's name?
Seb.
Seb. Seb is like, and he's like back alive again. One of those.
Mm-hmm.
So Seb's like, oh, thank you very much. I know that our system, our wonderful government doesn't have universal health care. How much do I owe you? And Charlie the EMT informs him that any bills that come due will be sent out within a couple weeks. They've already gotten a copy of his driver's license.
Give me your insurance
fine.
information.
Yeah, they exchange all the necessary info. It only takes like 45 minutes. It's pretty efficient.
You're covered. That's a fantasy land, am I right?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a wonderful country.
Talk about a fantasy land. Insurance going quickly.
Okay. Let me know when you're done.
I'm done.
All right. What is our guy's name?
Seb. Oh my god.
I promise that I am genuinely forgetting.
How much NyQuil did you take in the middle of this day?
And I prefer not to answer.
Mm-hmm.
Seb, I remembered. Seb finishes the niceties in the exchanges, and he's going to start running. He begins like a light jog. Charlie calls out to him and says, "Sir, you've just been resuscitated. I don't recommend you undergo any more physical strain. Where are you going in such a hurry? Maybe I can help you."
Yes.
And Seb says, "Oh no, thank you. I really don't want to impose. I know that you're an important resource. I don't
want to be. This is taxpayer money. I don't want to be.
Yeah, he's very responsible.
He's very concerned about infrastructure.
He politely says no, thank you.
But Charlie says, yeah, it's okay. My shift's over.
Yeah, all I have to do is return this bus. Cause EMTs they call them buses. I learned that from Law and Order.
And it's on the way, so
Yeah, actually, where he's going? Where is he going?
To another city. He goes from. Yeah. He's going from business town to corporatesville.
Yeah, and so it just so happens that the ambulance bay that Charlie has to return his ambulance to is the Corporatesville Hospital. And so it's really no problem at all. Seb graciously accepts, and he says, "This is really fortuitous. This is really good.
It's pretty serendipitous.
I really need to get these documents to Corporatesville. So I really appreciate you helping me out like this."
Yeah. Okay, and then. So what are the trials that Seb has to go through?
Yeah.
He's got to go through like customs.
Is it like 3 trials? What is it? What is it?
I don't think there's that many trials in the original. We'll say 3 for ours.
Well, okay, 3. I was lowballing you on 3, but if that's too high,
no.
Is there just the 1?
It's not that many. We'll say the traffic jam was 1. That is
that was the first
trial.
That was the trial of determination.
He's got to go through a weird customs thing. Where he's got to
is this a city-state situation?
It's nobody knows.
Maybe in all the ruckus on the 405, Seb lost his company identification card, and so when he gets to the building, he is unable to prove that he
I'm Seb,
that he has access.
Yeah. Okay. So that's trial number 2. Then eventually Charlie catches up with him. The candy storm takeover happens. And Seb finally meets the VP princess, and he's like, "I failed you," and she's like,
"Because
no.
The document is incomplete."
Right, and she's like, "No, you haven't. You've delivered. There's been someone who's been following your quest." And Jeff Reelman is like, "What? Are they talking about me? I'm reading this story." And then she tells him, so the corporate takeover happens, and then somehow Jeffrey Reelman ends up talking to her, and he's like, the business town is gone.
Well, I feel like the vice princess picks up she picks up like a telephone,
like a cool cell phone in a limo.
Yeah, and she dials a number and she says, connect me to
She says,
the
Jeff Reelman,
real
pick up the phone.
Yeah, and there's
and he's like,
in the
what?
fantasy cottage, back in the real world, he's in like a what do they call those? Like a cottage,
a bungalow.
Is it?
Like a yurt?
Yeah, he's in like a steamy bungalow,
mm-hmm.
and there's no technical devices anywhere. But he looks off to the right side of his body, and there's a ringing telephone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he picks it up and he says, "Hello, this is Jeffrey Reelman. May I ask who is calling?" They obviously exchange the proper pleasantries. And the vice princess explains that she needs his mathematical expertise in the story, so that they can save the story world, and with zero consequences to the real world, just like in the original.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's revealed that Jeff Reelman is a silent partner who can veto the deal.
Yeah, he has a 40% stake in the company, which is it's honestly it was really smart to get it on the ground floor like that, investment wise.
Mm-hmm.
He's been silent, but now he can step up and really he's got a lot of voting power.
Yeah, and then he saves everything. He puts his son in a dumpster.
Yeah, well, there's no dumpsters in the real world, so I feel like he just pushes him down.
Fantasy
into,
trash pile.
Yeah, he just pushes him down like he
grounds him. He says, "Go to your room."
No, he pushes him, and his son falls over into garbage.
And then he says, "You're grounded. I'm going to work."
Yeah, and he says, "You're grounded," and then he realizes that was a joke, and he reins it back in because he's got to be.
And he goes, "But for real, like, go to your
seriously.
room. You're in trouble.
You're in a lot of trouble, mister.
You just wait till I get home from my job.
Mm-hmm.
Stop imagining things. Stop drawing unicorns in math class."
He straightens his tie and he says, "I have a company to run."
Mm-hmm.
So nothing falls apart the way it does in the original.
Yeah.
Because he needs to get serious, and when you get serious, like, you don't mess up.
You don't mess up.
So there's no fumble, there's no foible.
Mm-hmm.
And so the child is the real child is sad and grounded, and the real adult is going to his job. Is he working in the story?
Who, Seb?
No, Jeffrey.
Jeff is working. He got so bullied by his son on the way to work that he stopped to read his manual about, like, the rise of corporations. I don't know.
Yeah, is this one of those things where it turns out that like the story was real but 10,000 years ago?
Oh, it could. That's not how Neverending Story works, though. No, it's just like a fantasy land that's actually very boring.
Well, it's not boring to Jeffrey. It's very exciting. It's very interesting, and it's full of practical advice.
Uh-huh.
Is this good?
No, this is bad.
Yeah, but we made it, so...
I mean, I'm sticking to it.
Yeah.
I'm not proud of it, but, you know, I'm not gonna swear by it.
All right, so we spin this off to a shell corporation, sell it to syndication to TBS, call it a day.
Yeah, I think that works. This is
so. Was there an amulet? I feel like we missed something.
I guess there was an amulet.
The amulet was the report.
Yeah, sure. The amulet is a pen or something.
Yeah, that's it. We don't need to go any more detail.
This is kind of a rough one, peeps. We
can't bat 1,000.
We can't bat 1,000, and let's be like we said, this is the morning after edition. We're not exactly at 100%, and we promise next week we'll deliver a more compelling reboot for sure.
Something more in line with the NBCCW's values.
Yeah, I cannot stress this enough, Frank. There's only one C. It is the NBCW.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just want to just go ahead and say it.
Yeah, NBCCW.
The NBCW.
NBCCW.
NBCW.
I'm saying what you're saying. NBCCW.
Okay. All right. Everybody, thanks you so much for listening this week. Please come back next week. In the meantime, feel free to send us, send us a tweet at Rebootleggers for, what a reboot you might want to hear. We'll definitely look at the words you send us.
Yeah, to be honest, if we get even a suggestion, we're pretty much guaranteed to do it at this point.
Yeah. So, if you want to have a say, hit us up.
We are out of ideas.
At Rebootleggers on Twitter. So Frank, I guess, yeah. So, send us a tweet for your reboot idea. Tell all your friends, rate us on iTunes. Until next week.
Don't. We're not cops.
Or
we would like it.
We would love it if you did.
Consider it a personal favor.
Yeah. I guess until next week, I've been your taller host, Scott Owen.
And I've been the louder host, Frank Serra.
Yeah, that works. Frank, what's our password this week?
I don't know. Where's your fax machine? Is it?
Perfect.
I guess.
Cut, print, ship. Put it in the pizza pouches. Put them all.
Pouch those pizza pies.